Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, Raiders. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. We got another Arc Raiders video for you, but first, Airwingmarine here. You go to guide for all things extraction shooter. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell. Lets YouTube you want to see more of my content. But we've got some wild rides coming up with Arc Raiders launching here in just a few weeks on October 30th with the server slam just a week away. But today we're diving deep into the latest dev blog from the Arc Raiders team. Now, I touched on these subjects a little bit on X with a few posts, and you can check those out over there if you want, but I wanted to do a video giving a little bit deeper of a dive into it. The blogs from Embark is all about progression and wipes, but it's with a twist they call the Expedition Project. There's no more guessing on whether your grind's going to get nuked in Arc Raiders. They've got a smart, player-friendly solution they've provided for us. They are talking voluntary resets that respect your effort, incentives to keep the vets hooked, and a system designed to bridge the gap between casuals and power gamers. If you're worried about the game's longevity post-launch, this might just be the ace up their sleeves. Stick around, I'll break it down, clear up all the confusion that seems to be going on with it, and share why I'm more hyped than ever with this thing coming with what they've got decided here. So let's get right into it. All right, let's set the stage here. The design director, Virgil, at Embark Studios kicks off the blog by addressing the elephant in the room for any extraction shooter fan: progression wipes. You know the drill. Games like Escape from Tarkov do full resets every few months, about 6 months with Tarkov. Other games are less, some games are more, and they do this to refresh the economy, level the playing field, and give everyone that new player dopamine hit that we all know, whether people want to admit it or not, it's there. That's what it's all about. But here's the problem with that, and I touched on this again on one of my X posts. Wipes are a double-edged sword. They keep the hardcore crowd interested for sure and give them engaging stuff to do, but for the more casual folks with jobs, families, or just not infinite hours to burn, wipes can be soul crushing for what you've achieved. You sink 100 hours into your hideout and your loadouts and your skills and all this other stuff, and then poof, it's gone, and you don't even get to experience the endgame stuff. And without constant new content like Tarkov's been struggling with the last year or so, it starts to feel very repetitive. Now, Virgil nails this, and I'm just going to quote him here. Quote, "We absolutely see the benefits a global wipe provides, but one thing a mandatory wipe does not do is respect the investment of those players who do not have as much time to play overall." That's boom. That's it. That's it right there. I don't know what else to say. That's the Arc Raiders ethos and developers' constant talking point that they're always talking about right there. Player first design. No mandatory wipes, period. But they didn't just stop at, no wipes, so deal with it. They innovated like they've done with so many other things in the game. And that's where the Expedition Project enters. This is basically their take on what is pretty much a prestige system, though that's an oversimplification. It's a prestige system that walks hand in hand with the lore and does so much more. Here is the lore picture that they are selling. The tunnel networks connected to Speranza are vast but largely unexplored or inaccessible. Most survivors stay within their settlements, but like the raiders who dare to venture topside, there are those who dare to venture even further. Once the Rust Belt has given all it can offer, some raiders choose to set out beyond the borders of what they know. As of now, this has always been a one-way trip. So there's the lore. Let's talk about mechanics now. What is actually going to happen in the game? How does this all work? This ties into a bigger projects feature that will unlock when you reach level 20 each time you reset, if you do any resetting. And that's your first milestone. Not an endgame wall, it's just the first step here. The Expedition Project that they're showing looks like a multi-stage upgrade process. It's got 6 steps, each one that looks like it gets a little bit harder and harder with, what materials or crafting gear or maybe even mini objectives in the map that you have to do. It's a quote-unquote somewhat large time investment, per Virgil, spread out over basically 8 weeks. Now, large time investment, that's relative, right? A large time investment for me is hundreds of hours, whereas a large time investment for some of you that are more casual gamers may be 10 or 20 hours. But they even find a way to address this split or discrepancy between types of players. Now, here's the cycle. Weeks 1 through 7, essentially, you can, after you hit level 20, you can chip away at the progress of this expedition with your raids and everything else. There's no rush, because you can do it at your pace. It doesn't do you any good to be done on week 2, because until week 8, that's when essentially the golden hour is. A full week, about 5-6 days, to finalize and commit and essentially reset your account, which will happen on December 21st. And that's the first one of these end of week things. Is it's December 15th to the 20th. The goal is to progress through all the stages and be ready to reset on December 21st. And here's where they address the gap between casual gamers and power gamers. If you don't finish the progress in those 8 weeks, you don't lose it all. It rolls over to the next expedition project. So you might not be able to do as many expeditions as a power gamer, but you can at least progress with each reset and not be left in the dust by everybody else. And I think that is one of the more novel systems they've had here, where it's kind of this hybrid between a full wipe that leaves some people behind or ignores other people, and a system that doesn't ever reset and just lets the game get stale. And yes, it's repeatable. Grind another project post-reset to unlock the next one. Other projects might also pop up as well for holidays or updates or some kind of special events with varying kind of rewards. I imagine they could have one that's maybe a week or two long that's really short and easy for Christmas or something that gives some Christmas kind of cosmetics. This is a really smart way to keep things fresh without forcing your hand, which I think is the key here. Now, the big money question is what stays and what goes? What does this reset nuke? Basically character stuff. Your levels, your skills, your inventory, obviously, workshop, crafting recipes, all gone. Essentially, you're back to square one on the progression treadmill, but there's a respect your time part here with cosmetics that you get to keep forever. You know, any earned or bought achievements, rankings, awards, all of that is locked in as well. And post reset, you get to skip all the tutorial slog, all your maps are unlocked, features, all of that onboarding crap that's going to be part of your very first playthrough. You get to skip all of it. So why would anyone choose to reset in a world where others might not? And it's pretty simple. It's incentives, right? Simple as that. They're still tweaking these, and we're probably not going to see exactly what they are until the 30th. Well, probably a few days after the 30th. What I'm expecting to see is if they don't change progression from what we played on Tech Test 2, it'll take some of your crazier gamers only 2 or 3 days to get to level 20. If they slow it down, obviously that'll stretch out, which I think they're going to do. That's my assumption. I don't know, but figure at least a week before you start seeing a big chunk of people at level 20 starting this process. So until then, we're not really going to know. But what they did talk about is things like permanent account unlocks with each completion. Think things like exclusive emotes or maybe base customization. There's going to be unique cosmetics per expedition. So you got bragging rights with the tunnel diver skins and stuff like that. There's also going to be account wide buffs for the next cycle. Again, stacking with repeats as you do it up to a reasonable cap, but it's going to be quality of life stuff. And I'm thinking like maybe faster crafting queues, maybe more storage space, bonus resource drops from Scrappy, smoother early progression, maybe more stuff on the traders. But Virgil was crystal clear about one thing. Completing a reset should never give a player a power or combat advantage. It's just all about bragging rights and cosmetics and making the grind a little bit easier, but never giving you a power boost in game when you're fighting other players. And I think that's super important. I know some people aren't going to like that, but you can't give a power boost to prestiging people. It's just not fair. I probably opened a can of worms by saying this, but in some ways it's a little bit pay to win because people that have more time are given more power than they're already more playing time gives them with gear and everything else and leveling up. So I think this is just a really good approach to it. So no power gaps, just cosmetics, quality of life, and those sequential buffs ramping up. It's prestiging done right. Rewards the dedicated without screwing the casual. Now look, straight up, longevity was one of my real worries about Arc Raiders. It's got the gunplay, it's got the amazing atmosphere, the squad gameplay, it all had me hooked in the tech test, but that was just a couple of days. And without wipes, how do you fight meta fatigue? How do you fight just the repetitive boringness without having any progression there? Mandatory ones do fix that, but they alienate half the player base. None at all leaves vets bored. This, what we're getting here with Arc Raiders, is a hybrid I am very eager to try out. Embark has done so many things to nail that casual to sweat bridge, that gap between different kinds of players. And that's so special because few PvP games even try to do it, let alone have a good system for it. If they're able to actually iterate on feedback, and Virgil says they're watching the discourse, this could be a brand new way to look at wipes and prestige systems with extraction shooters. I don't expect it to be perfect out the gate by any means, but it'll be damn exciting to watch how it evolves. But there you have it, the Expedition Project Decoded. No confusion, just straight facts and why it's a win for everyone. But by all means, drop your thoughts down below. Are you resetting the first cycle? Or are you going to ignore that and hoard all your progression? But if I cleared things up for you or let you know on some new stuff, make sure to hit that like button. Shows me that you guys actually got something out of the video. Plus, you can subscribe for lots of guides and tons of content we're going to do over here the next couple of weeks leading up to the launch of Arc Raiders and after launch. Plus, we're streaming usually and doing live raids where you can drop in and ask any question you want. Now, before we sign off though, I do want to do a quick shout out to my own project that I'm working on with a buddy of mine. We are building an Arc Raiders website called arcraiders.pro. We are working towards a one-stop shop for all things Arc Raiders and the community that wants to love the game. We're talking maps, crafting tools, item libraries, hopefully even player strats if we can work out player stats and tracking if we can work that out with Embark. Right now it's in an early alpha state, but it's up and running and semi-functional if you want to check it out. We launched a community Discord to go along with it and a Patreon if you want to be more involved with the dev process and support our efforts. But that's all optional. All the links will be down in the description. I appreciate it a lot if you check it out and come join the Discord. Also, don't hesitate to check out the dev blog. I linked it down in the description. That's where I got all this from. And if you want to see more like instant real-time takes, follow me on Twitter. I'm always yapping away there. Just be mindful my dry humor doesn't come over great all the time. But with that, we'll say thanks for watching my content. Appreciate having you guys around here. Good luck on the server slam coming up. I'm excited for that, and we'll see you in Speranza.